Hello everyone, this is Clay Turner. Welcome to ECM at Work. This session is being recorded, so if you're not happy with that, then please disconnect now. To some of you, welcome back. In this series, we've been showcasing offerings and use cases related to IBM Enterprise Content Management, which delivers a suite of enterprise solutions from capture to content management to case management and beyond. So far, we've had presentations on several of the topics listed here, including Content Manager on Demand, Content Foundation, Case Manager, and Content Navigator. We're close to the end of our webinar series with today's presentation that is focused on content capture with IBM Datacap, and we will be finishing up the ECM at Work series next week with Watson Explorer. Today's speakers are myself, Clay Turner, Offering Manager for IBM Datacap, and I am joined by our partners at Pyramid Solutions, Derek DeLeo, VP of Operations, and Will Sellenrod, the Principal for Pyramid's Insurance team. Let's have a look at today's agenda. We will start with a little bit on the capture market and an overview of IBM Datacap generally. After that, Will Sellenrod will pique your interest with some challenges and Datacap-based solutions in the context of a life insurance underwriting scenario. And finally, Derek DeLeo will walk us through a live demonstration of one of Pyramid's solutions, and we will end the presentation with a live Q&A. And so during the presentation, if you have questions, you can feel free to use the Q&A button at the bottom of your presentation window to log them there formally, or you can drop them into the chat, and we will get to as many as we can at the end of the presentation. And just like the previous ECM at Work webinars, this presentation is being recorded, like I mentioned earlier, and it will be made available to you to review or share with colleagues who couldn't make it to the live show today. An email is actually going to go out to everybody with the live recording available, as well as the presentation materials themselves. And once you have the presentation materials, the links on this slide will be clickable if you'd like to revisit any of the previous webinars as well. Okay, with that, let's begin by taking a look at IBM Datacap and the enterprise content capture space. For those of you who are not familiar, let's start with an overview of content capture and imaging generally. IBM Datacap and products like it serve three key functions. First, they're responsible for managing the capture and digitization of content at the source, whether it's a scanner, a fax machine, a mobile device, or an email or file server. Second, they serve as the first source of intelligent analytical insight, as these solutions extract data from the page through optical character recognition or a combination of other pattern recognition technologies. This is what makes your digital content searchable, and this is what enables content capture solutions to execute their third function, which is integration with various business systems to deliver extracted insights, data, and content wherever they are needed to support business activity. In addition, Datacap gives the business analyst powerful tools for capture orchestration and system fine-tuning. With Datacap, business analysts can create and modify capture workflows without being technical experts. A simple graphical interface and wizards enable configuration with immediate feedback on changes. And also for administrators, application management tools make it easy to copy an entire capture application, including custom code, database schemas, and the like, to additional servers, such as from a development environment to a test or production environment. And so in summary, IBM Datacap centralizes capture activity and leverages cognitive capture analytics to lower the cost of maintaining and rolling out new business solutions. It's faster to implement, train, and perfect, and it will cost you less money and risk fewer errors than manual data entry or human-driven content extraction. To accomplish these feats of content extraction, Datacap utilizes a variety of capabilities in concert. This representation of a document showcases several of those capabilities, but is by no means exhaustive. Datacap is a mature offering with an enormous wealth of value added over time. As you can see, Datacap is capable of optical character recognition, barcode reading, automatic redaction based on user role, and signature detection and validation, among other capabilities. As content is captured from the page, it is used to populate business systems with the data needed to conduct business and improve outcomes. And like the rest of the IBM ECM suite of offerings, Datacap is a platform for customized solutions that are particular to each client engagement. And IBM clients are many, varied, widespread, and they're from a diverse set of industries. As such, the configuration of a Datacap solution is often projectized to produce a unique and exceptionally valuable content capture solution for that client's specific set of challenges. So IBM Datacap is critical to ingesting new content and immediately putting it to work on behalf of your business and your customer. That might mean delivering account information to a fraud prevention solution, or more quickly verifying customer identity. It might mean checking test results against previous patient records to determine health risk levels. Here's a sample of industries which leverage Datacap to achieve more efficient, highly differentiated capture solutions. Regardless of your industry, you will find that IBM Datacap is a valuable component for any business application because it converts content to workable data and insights quickly at the point of capture, wasting no time to tap the value of your content at its source. Some processes are common across sectors, such as onboarding an employee or a citizen or a new customer. It's a similar process. In those cases, you need basic information and sensitive information: name, address, social security number, employee number, account number, and you need contract signatures, you need supporting documentation. Other sectors have special requirements. Financial services and governments have specific record-keeping requirements, for example, or the healthcare industry has HIPAA requirements to comply with. Across all sectors, organizations are struggling to deal with documents, to unlock the valuable information locked inside paper, PDFs, emails, faxes, and to be able to automate ingestion, automatically extract, and activate the information contained therein. Now, traditionally with capture, you had to train the solution on each type of document by zoning page areas and specifying the information that came from whichever area and what kind of form you were looking at. This is problematic for use cases like mortgage applications, for example, where you might have 30, 40, or 50 documents, all of different types that comprise a mortgage application. So being able to recognize the kind of document and classify it automatically without a whole bunch of manual labor required up front could dramatically improve the productivity of larger customers that are doing high volumes of capture. In 2015, IBM introduced cognitive capture capabilities with IBM Datacap Insight Edition, and no other vendor has really challenged us with anything like this. We have a tremendous amount of customer excitement around cognitive capture, and the Insight Edition platform is maturing every day. It's integrating new intelligence and enabling more and more innovative captured use cases. Basically, cognitive capture leverages analytics and machine learning where these technologies are needed the most, at the point of content ingestion. This enables training for capture solutions to recognize forms in unstructured documents that have never been seen before and for which there is no expected format. So put simply, IBM Datacap Insight Edition brings an entirely new level of flexibility and accuracy to the content capture and imaging space that no other vendor can really achieve to date. Perhaps even more importantly, IBM makes Datacap on cloud extremely easy as an extremely easy alternative to adopting our robust capture solutions. If you already license one of the eligible on-premise IBM Datacap offerings, you can now use our Bridge to Cloud program to swap over to IBM Datacap on cloud with no risk to you. You can spend an entire year making that swap with no additional S&S coverage. So this program offers a single quote, order, and invoice. It eliminates dual payments during your transition period, and it simplifies the shift of support entitlement from your on-premise offering to the comparable SaaS offering. We provide you with a fully functional Datacap infrastructure ready to go. And if you're an existing customer with Datacap on-premise, you can move your capture applications to the cloud and run them in a production-ready environment right away. Each Datacap on Cloud system is designed with application-level high availability, data replication to a second site, and full backups of both sites. And of course, as you can see, IBM data centers are available across the globe, allowing us to service customers no matter where they are located and to back up data in alternate geographies to mitigate the risk of natural disasters. So we had a previous webinar on IBM Content Navigator, but it bears repeating because one challenge that I hear now and again from customers considering a hybrid cloud approach is how do you work with content across repositories in the cloud, on-premise, or even in disparate repositories from other vendors. The bottom line is that IBM provides an end-to-end, unified, and market-validated content engagement experience across all of our enterprise content management offerings. From content to case to capture, whether on-premise, on the cloud, or stitched together from multiple vendor offerings, IBM Content Navigator is the solution, a one-stop shop for everything ECM and adjacent to ECM. IBM Content Navigator, which is embedded in IBM Datacap and all other IBM ECM products, provides a unified, configurable, and customizable UI. It provides a single user experience across all deployments, whether on cloud, on-premise, or non-IBM repositories that are compliant with the CMIS open standard. And IBM Content Navigator launches within standard web browsers with no download or install required. And in addition to that, for mobile users, whether Android or iOS, the IBM Content Navigator mobile and the IBM Datacap mobile apps provide a curated experience specific to your device as well. So with all these groundbreaking features and announcements for IBM Datacap, including our innovation on cognitive capture, expansion to our hybrid cloud model, and the continued evolution of our unified content engagement experience platform, it is no wonder that analysts are raving about IBM Datacap, placing us far and away above the competition for several years in a row. Gartner's recent insights are built on some foundational assumptions, predictions that are generally accepted and confirmed by other analyst firms and industry associations like AIM and others. But they underscore the emergence of the third dimension of ECM, and they make some of the insights that are listed here. So for example, by 2018, 50% of enterprises will manage their content using a hybrid content architecture. Enterprise file synchronization and sharing will be a standard capability for ECM. At least half of the ECM vendors will re-architect their offerings into cloud-based platforms. And by 2019, 70% of all business content will be non-textual, which will require organizations to invest more widely in analytics as part of their content management efforts. And by the way, IBM has re-architected its ECM portfolio to support cloud-based platforms while providing a path forward for our on-premise customer base, which will minimize headaches while guiding them toward the cutting edge. IBM has been named a leader in both completeness of vision and ability to execute for the 5th year in a row by Gartner. So now, Pyramid is going to show us how they have used customized data extractors in IBM Datacap Insight Edition and configured Case Manager to populate cases in a life underwriting solution. To discuss the high-value customer solution built on Datacap and Case Manager, I will hand things over to Will Sellenrod. Will.
Okay, thank you very much, Clay, and good afternoon, everyone. As Clay mentioned, we have basically built a solution upon Datacap Insight Edition and Case Manager. And we focus on the life insurance industry because it historically has been pretty stoic and static and resistant to change. But probably in the last 2 years, we've seen a tremendous amount of change in the life insurance industry. And this slide shows in younger clients are applying for life insurance in higher numbers. Even older applicants are now applying as well. So overall, we're seeing just a big surge in the number of applicants. And what it's requiring is that the insurance companies can no longer process applicants the way they previously have. There's no room for taking the time to do the blood test, to do the physicals. They have to have more speed. They have to have more transparency and, more important, accuracy in how they're processing these new applicants. And in fact, the younger applicant now actually wants to have a total online experience, and so the insurance companies have to adjust. So what this means for the life insurers is that they have to maximize the fast track. So they want a fair amount of their applicants to go through the fast track process, and they have to make sure that they're accurate. They want to avoid as much as possible having to review in detail the medical records. So they want to have as much accuracy as possible. And we're seeing that the paramed exams and the attending physician statements, known as APS, are requiring a lot of manual effort for the underwriter to review them and take the time to look at the medical history and determine the risk. So while we can fast track and aid in the fast tracking, there are going to be exceptions to those fast track applications. And we focus on developing an application that works more with the applications that need additional attention and a more detailed review. And we use Case Manager to streamline the entire process. Here's a scenario where we have a 52-year-old female business owner, and they're applying for about $2.5 million in life insurance. And what we did is, from the research, we've talked to over 30 different insurance companies and reinsurance companies and reviewed all their pain points. And we found that most of the underwriters spend a large amount of their time reviewing an attending physician statement, which is basically an amalgamation of a whole bunch of different medical history documents that the life insurance companies get in the form of a TIF file. And they spend a lot of time reviewing these attending physician statements. So what we're showing in this slide is we put a grouping together of the different data, and we put this in front of an underwriter and ask them to rate it. And if there are some underwriters in the audience, a lot of them are able to make the determination within 1 to 3 minutes from looking at this slide. But they will also want to spend a little more time and maybe look at some other additional detail just to support their decision, just to make sure that they're confident. But what we found is that the underwriters are taking 45 minutes in this particular example to organize all the data and to put it in a format that allows them to read the medical history, to look at the timeline, to find the areas of high risk, to determine if this is an applicant that they can fast track, or if they can't fast track them, how do they rate this particular applicant? And so what we spent a lot of time doing was watching how an underwriter completes their work, how they read an attending physician statement, how they pull the key metadata out, and how they organize it so that they can make a decision. And that's basically what we did with Datacap, is we're creating these medical extractors that are able to take the attending physician statement or any other type of a document that's not already in an electronic format. Some of the data that comes in, like prescription history, MIB, et cetera, those are already in an XML format, so there's no need to use Datacap. But what we want to be able to do is use Datacap and extract the key information, organize it for the underwriter, and we do that in Case Manager. So what Case Manager is actually doing is taking all the inputs you see there, the MID, the prescription history, any kind of phone information, diagnoses, et cetera, and it's organizing it all in a timeline. And then anything that's not already in an electronic format like XML, we're using Datacap with the medical extractors to automatically do that. So it's a systematic approach, and it's part of an entire solution. There are some key information in the attending physician statement, such as redundant text, which has been a real big issue for the underwriter. We're able to identify that and weed that out. Handwriting, it's still difficult to read, and the way a lot of doctors are even signing their name, it's almost impossible to legibly understand that. So what we do is we highlight it, we alert the underwriter so that they can go right to that point in the document and they can review the signature and try and figure out for themselves who, in fact, that doctor is. We also put everything into a chronological order, all the medical history, the MID information, the prescription history, the diagnosis, all that goes into a medical history, and Derek is going to demonstrate that and show that to you. So what we want to do is eliminate all that manual time that the underwriter spends organizing the data, reading through it, and more important, we are understanding that a lot of the underwriters are nearing retirement age, and the new junior underwriters have to come up quickly, but it's almost impossible for them to match the experience of a senior underwriter. And so what we're trying to do is organize the data in a consistent manner, and so we increase the precision by presenting everything to the underwriter, but we're increasing the precision because it doesn't matter who the underwriter is. They would all come to the same conclusion because we're training Datacap and Case Manager and our extractors to think like an underwriter in how they process this information. This is just an example of some of the processing tools. Derek will go into more detail on that. And here on the left screen, you can see there's a little bit of a timeline visible. It's kind of hard and small on my screen. I'm not sure what you're looking at. And then you have the other information on the right, which is basically a large document where we've automatically added the bookmarking so that an underwriter can immediately go to that large document and go specifically to the information that's critical to their decision. So with that, I'm going to send it over to Derek. And Derek, if you'd like to go ahead and take over for here and demonstrate the PX for medical extraction and life underwriting solution.
Thanks, Will. So I'm going to show you the end result of what Clay and Will were talking about using Datacap Insight Edition for. So let me set the stage a little. We've taken some medical records, otherwise known as attending physician summaries, and we've run them through Datacap Insight Edition using custom extractors that we've created to search for medical terminology such as diagnoses, prescriptions, doctors' names, office visits, lab results. We've categorized them, again, using Datacap Insight Edition, into these categories that you see on the screen: medical documents, family history, documents referencing lifestyle, referencing vitals, chronic conditions, etc., to make it easier for people to find them. All of this is due to Datacap Insight Edition. So what you'll see first is one of our capabilities that we've developed using custom extractors and custom actions with Datacap Insight Edition. And here you see in this top gray bar lab test results, and you can see the results called out with the date that the results were determined from the lab test. And these little red bars would actually take me right to that document so I could open that document up. These are bookmarks that we've created from those custom extractors so that it makes it easy for the underwriter to go straight to where that lab result is referenced, as well as where the office visit is, or where this letter is, or if there were some prescriptions, we would see links to that as well, all by using Datacap Insight Edition and then feeding that information into IBM Case Manager. One of the other things we're able to use those bookmarks for is to extend document notes or underwriter notes. So an underwriter, as they're writing their notes, as you see on the right-hand side of your screen, they can embed a link, and that link is actually one of the bookmarks that came from Datacap Insight Edition that takes them right to that document. So if I go to this link that says lifestyle excess alcohol consumption, what it will do is it will take me to this document. You can see the bookmark right there, and in the middle of the page, at the bottom of that paragraph, you'll see he acknowledges he drinks too much once or twice a week. All of that, again, came from searching through the documents using Insight Edition and picking out relevant information, creating the bookmarks, tying it back to this timeline, as well as making it accessible for an underwriter to incorporate it in their notes as they're creating or assessing the risk for this application. When we go back to these bookmarks, you can see the bookmarks are categorized. So we have all the diagnoses listed here, and I can go straight to any one of these diagnoses, and it will take me right to that page. I can check the family history, and I can see where the family history occurs. I see the lab tests, the lifestyle, and then I see other references under medical documents. All of these bookmarks were created using Datacap Insight Edition and sending those bookmarks along with the documents over to IBM Case Manager, automatically creating the case and organizing all the content as you see on the screen. Using some of these other links that we've created from Datacap Insight Edition, I can see that the family history shows that this patient's father had heart disease. I can also look at lifestyle, and that's where I found alcohol consumption, drinks too much one or two times a week. I can look at lab results on a graphical view and see their vitals over time. Again, this is coming from these custom extractors in Datacap Insight Edition that goes in and reads those lab results, captures the right data, and allows us to dynamically build this vitals timeline for the patient. I can see the chronic conditions for the individual, and I can relate them back to the family history as well. I can see all the diagnoses over time, referenced in a logical fashion that an underwriter could use. I again can see all the lab test results easily organized for me, and any procedures that this patient may have had. All of this is possible using custom extractors and custom actions from Datacap Insight Edition. For those custom extractors, we've used some out-of-the-box dictionaries that come with Insight Edition, as well as natural language processing capabilities and some custom dictionaries that we've created just for our life underwriting solution. All of this, again, is possible using Datacap Insight Edition, along with, in this case, Case Manager. With that, I'll go back to our presenter for Q&A.